Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah, we got our Rodney Cup today. And, hey, to that viewer who commented in yesterday's episode and said something to the effect of, "Don't you ever change your shirt?" Hey, I'm wearing my Bismarck shirt. Yeah, that our friend Jeff sent me. Okay, now, yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. I've been getting comments about I was wearing the same Greyhound shirt. At least, well, now they're talking about the Grey Goose shirts, but this goes back as far as I'm guessing 8 years ago when I was down in my workshop. In fact, I did a little bit of a spoof. I pretended that this goes way back to when Barack Obama was president of the United States. And so I did a little spoof pretending that Barack Obama had phoned me up and told me how he appreciated my workshop videos, and then I pretended that he asked me about my wearing the same shirt. I think I said something to the effect of, "I'm going to have it surgically removed," or something like that. Anyway, yeah, we're wearing a different shirt today. So I hope that viewer is happy. Okay, we are going to carry on here. We are still in step 34. And yeah, we didn't get as much done yesterday as I thought I was going to, but we've had this conversation before. The day never goes the way you think it's going to go. It looks easy, and then you run into little problems. Now, speaking of little problems, one of the viewers thought that possibly I had glued this part on wrong, and I didn't actually come and check. Yeah, I did. I've got the louvers, I guess you'd call it. I've got them going this way, and I should have had them going this way. Well, that's all right. As I commented or replied back to him, I said, now I'm going to have to do the other funnel wrong so that they're going to match. Yeah, boy, some people are sure observant, I'll tell you. Oh, and got a comment from California Paul. He said, I think it was Paul, and he suggested that it might be a good idea to put the photo etch that we're going to be getting in. We're going to have to put on in step number. What will it be? I think it's the next page, actually. Yeah, right here we got to actually put some photo etch on this piece, and he was suggesting put that on now before you glue the piece onto these things that we're going to be making probably in the next few minutes. Okay, so speaking of the next few minutes, let's push stop here and yeah, get the day going. Our walkers. Well, first of all, sunrise, nothing to speak of. But our walkers did show up, so that was kind of nice. And anyway, let's push stop here and get going. Now, just moments ago, I got a comment from a viewer, and the suggestion was I should have painted the inside of this flat black. And that's right, I should have. Because I think if I try to pry this off of there now, I'm just going to make a horrendous mess of this ring. It's just glued in way too good. So I'm thinking at this point, well, first of all, when I do the second funnel, I will paint the inside black first. And I think that for this one here, what I will do is I will mask off a lot of it, and maybe I don't even need to. Anyway, and then put it on my rotator and turn it around and have the spray going in as it's turning. And I think I can probably get most of it flat black. At least, you know, that's easy to say, but it's a lot of fooling around, isn't it? Yeah, I should have thought of that. You know, I seem to be making a lot more silly mistakes on this build than on the first three. Either that or I've forgotten. A person has a tendency to sort of forget their mistakes. You know, selective memory, as you call it. Okay, yeah, dumb. Okay, step 34, moving right along from left to right. We've done this, yes, and we've done it wrong, and we forgot to paint the inside black, but it's done. Okay, we are right here. So we are going to be gluing these halves together. And I think they're probably going to glue together quite easily. Maybe I should very delicately put a couple of my little tiny dollar store clamps on just to hold it. And then maybe I'll just use some quick setting on the inside. Just drop it on the inside. That way I'll be making less of a mess. What ship was it that I had to do a lot of sanding on the back of the funnel because I made a mess of the seam? I think it was the Bismarck. Anyway, we got it done, but the less I have to do, the better. Now you're going to notice that there's a little bit of a sprue connection there. Well, that's because I knew I would be sanding this off later. It's a lot better to do it after the funnel is glued together than before, because otherwise you're going to end up with a little V-shaped thing going on there, like you're going to maybe weld it with with an electric welder. Okay, let's. Where are my clamps? Okay, now I don't want to be putting these on real hard, because if you squeeze them too hard, it will, instead of holding the seam together, it will just tend to open it up. So all I want to do is just hold it shut. I would put an elastic band around it, except that my experience when I do something like that with elastic bands is that if the extra thin comes out, it will the elastic band will make a mark. So I think that something like this is the way to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now. Okay. The plan is to just let it run down the crack. When I do the front, you might actually be able to see it coming through. This is the extra thin. Well, I guess you probably saw that. And I have a piece of cereal box paper underneath it. There, I saw it go that time. I think it probably, yeah, it went right to the bottom. Okay, now we'll just do the front here. I don't know if it got all the way. I might have to turn it upside down, because there seems to be a bit of something going on there. I suppose it might not hurt to do it from the other side. Now, as for this part in here, I wonder if I could put a small clamp on there. It might not hurt anything. I didn't want to put one of those heavy-duty clamps on here, because it'll squash it out of shape. But right here, I think I probably could get away with it. Where is one? This may not work. No, it's the wrong kind of... Is it going to flip off of there on me now? There we go. It shouldn't take very long for the extra thin here to, do its thing. When Chris first sent me these files, my first thought was, when I looked at this one, I thought, oh, I've got one pretty much like it. But then when I looked at the, it was much finer grained, you might say. But what is really different is that this file is nice and sharp. Yeah, you don't have to put hardly any pressure on your work. You just sort of now it doesn't file too good on the backstroke. But if a person's careful, oh, you know what? I should zoom in. Maybe I'll use the, I don't know, this is medium, but it seems a little bit on the coarse side. And we got this right here. I'm just going to use the sanding stick on this. I won't use the file. I won't use the file because you're looking. Okay, that's good. Now don't go any further. You're going to start wearing it down. No. I don't want to catch this detail here. I'm starting to... Okay, some of these things, it doesn't matter how much you sand, you're always going to have that little white. Okay. I think once that painted, it's going to be okay. All right, stop pretending like you really care, Ron. Maybe this one. Yeah, we're getting it. Yeah, once it's painted, all this stuff isn't going to show. It's going to be underneath something anyway, I believe. Okay, I'll do the same on the back. Now I was going to start on the back here, and I'm noticing what appears to be some kind of a detail, like rivets. Two there, two there, two there, two there. Now, I don't know if those are supposed to be there, or is that some kind of sprue connection or whatever. Well, bottom line is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up losing those. So, yeah, let's pretend that they were supposed to come off. Well, folks, for me that's pretty good. I'm not going to work on it anymore. Like I've said before, once it's painted, I think it's going to look all right. Okay, now this piece. Now, if you remember yesterday when I was gluing these angle brackets on, or gussets, I was concerned that they might be not let this thing to go together. Now, which way? Oh, it goes this way. This is the first time I'm trying this, by the way. No. doesn't seem to want to go down. Why is it not going all the way down? It's not because the gussets are binding. It seems that there is something going on. See, this should go down as near as I can tell. Maybe I'm just not squeezing hard enough. Maybe I'm afraid to squeeze it. Well, squeeze a little harder. Well, yeah, there. If I squeeze a little harder, it goes all the way down. I guess I just... No, it doesn't go all the way. It doesn't go all the way. Are these gussets maybe holding it out? I don't think so. There. Okay, I'm just going to push stop here and see what's going on. Okay, I found out what's wrong here. This side will go down with a little bit of help, but this side doesn't want to. And what I concluded was that right here, see if I can get something to point with. Okay, we've got the edge of our gusset here, or the end of it, and then we've got this thing here. And there just is not quite enough room, and it's binding right in there. So what I'm thinking of maybe doing here is, make sure I get the right one, is just taking my knife here and going along on the inside. You know, just sort of make it just a little bit, or I could use Chris's file too, that might work. Maybe one of his round files might work better. Okay, I'm just going to work away at it, and I think you can see what's happening here. Okay. I don't think I've overdone it. No, I didn't do anything to this one. Okay, we're fitting now. I don't even have to put any pressure on it. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, just in case somebody's wondering, I do not have a lot of pressure squeezing this together. I don't think these gussets need to be welded to the side of the funnel. I don't think so. All we're going to do is just hold this piece in place, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen here. There we go. Yeah, that's not going to come out of there. I got to lengthen the applicator so it goes down into the... Okay, yeah, we got her there now for sure. Now this will dry. Well, maybe I'll just do this one right here. Looks like it's touching. All right, so let's do this one. Okay, all right, we'll do this other one then. No, for sure it's not coming out. Okay, so here we are now at the place where it wants us to drop this part onto this part like this. Something like that. But this is also the place where California Paul said that it might be a good idea to put that piece of photo etch that goes around here on, at least unless I misunderstood him. But I'm just wondering, that means that this delicate piece of photo etch is going to be sticking out here while I'm manipulating around on this piece, hanging on to it to get all the rest of this other stuff on. I'm just wondering if I'm going to end up bending it or breaking it. You know what? Why don't we find that piece of photo etch and see what does it look like? Okay, here it is. Photo etch B2. Now I had originally thought that this also, the photo etch B4, I thought it went on the same part here, but I can see it goes on a different part. So only the B2 goes on this funnel assembly. Let's grab it, see what it looks like. All right, here's our B2, and here's our B4 over here. I'm noticing that the B2 is damaged a little bit, and I'm thinking that maybe now might be the time to try and straighten that a little bit. Can I just sort of raise it off of there, or should I? Yeah, it's okay, that's probably pretty good here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and get that off now. And you've seen me doing this kind of stuff lots. Now, here is something that kind of surprised me about this part right here that we just got, the B2. And I believe it was this end right here that we did the repair on. It was probably, doesn't matter. Anyway, you notice here on the ends, it kind of goes in, just a little bit on each side, kind of tucks in. But I'm not seeing any what you would call a folding line to tell you where. Not only that, but I would have thought that there would have been another stanchion right here. It almost looks, if you look close right there, without the macro lens I can probably see it, it looks like there's something drawn in there, but I'm not seeing anything on this end. And at first I thought, well, maybe I didn't get the B2. So I checked, and no, this is the B2, but I'm not seeing any folding line right about here, or about right here on the other end. So it doesn't let you know exactly, where to bend it. Let's get that part down here. Okay, so it almost appears that, I don't know, maybe it doesn't curve in. Maybe it's exaggerated on here, because this just somehow doesn't look right. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I can see where California Paul is, what he's talking about. It would be harder to put this piece on later than it would be right now. That's for sure. Well, let's just give it a try. I mean, he's a little bit ahead of me in this build, so he knows what he's talking about a lot better than I do. So is this supposed to then? Okay, let's see what this, follow the arrow along. Okay, so if we follow the arrow down, it shows that the bottom here that I'm touching, the bottom rail, it goes right there, not out here on the end. So that might be a little easier then, if we can just go straight down and just sit on there like that, and just sort of wrap around. Maybe I could give it a slight radius to start with. Yeah. Now, just a few moments ago, I counted all these individual whatever they are, and there are 15 going all the way around, okay? And then I counted the number of, I was going to say fence posts, but I don't think that's the right term, so I guess they'd be stanchions, right? And there are 15 of these stanchions. And so I guess what we're going to want to do is best we can line these stanchions up with our whatever they are. And it looks like this one is going to go here, so that's where we're going to want to try and make our bend from. And I'm just gonna eyeball it here. We won't stick on the macro lens. We'll just, okay, so it's going to go from this way. I'm just going to go really, really gradually here now until it basically folds all the way around. I'm wondering if, once again, should I maybe have had a smaller dowel. Okay, that's, we can always, excuse me, we can always open it up. Oh, I can see it didn't bend properly right here, did it? It's kind of, yeah, that's not too good. Let's see if I can just open it up just a little bit here. Wait. Maybe doing it on this green cloth is not the best way to go. Okay, open it here and bend it a little bit more right there. Is that going to look better? Not really. Yeah, you can see it's kind of an oblong curve, isn't it? Anyway, excuse me. Let's just try it on here now and see what's going to happen. Okay, now we're going to want this one in the center to end up on here. I think we might be able to get this. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm trying to put this on, I can really see what California Paul was talking about. Yeah, this would be really difficult to try and put onto the other piece after all the other parts were on it, and the you'd have searchlights in your road, and yeah, I'm going to probably have to recompose here because I can't quite get in there the way I'd like to, but it's going to have to go something like that all the way around. Now, obviously, this top rail does not touch the funnel here. Only the bottom rail does. You know, if I just took it one at a time and just, well, you know what? These things are not matching anyway. They're not matching up anyway. So why am I worried about that? Yeah, you can see if I get the center one right, this one here is too much to the right, and the other one is too much to the left. So I'm just going to have to recompose here somehow. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to mount this on a rotating block. Maybe I just put them like this. Okay, then I'll be able to get it up in the air a little bit better. And that should go down on there. Now let's be careful not to break anything. We just want it to stick down. And I think it will. Okay, so it doesn't move around. Now I'll be able to put it on the rotating block and move it back and forth. And I'm also going to cut very, very small little pieces of masking tape. And my thinking is, I don't know why I'm talking about it first. Why don't I just do it? Okay, my thinking is here, very carefully. This should spring over the edge. Now let's try not to bend it badly out of shape. Kind of catching a little bit here. Come on, get under there. So I have to move extremely slowly, because one quick move in the wrong direction and the thing's going to be all bent. Come on, what happened here now? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Now it's locked on both sides. Oh, there we go. All right. Now don't go back. Now it's coming loose off the block. Okay, they're hooked underneath. Now we want to go down here. I might have to re-stick this. Maybe I didn't use big enough blue tack. Now if we can get this to go down. Something like that. Okay, now my thinking is, if I can take and get some masking tape to grab this last stanchion and pull it back and tape it to here, and then the same on the other side. Now I'm probably going to have to do that off camera. So I just wanted it so that when you see it, you'll know what I did. Okay, I have basically got it here now. And I notice my tape is slowly letting go here, but the plan is I'm probably going to have to somehow, you know, hook up the holder downer in here to pull this down. And I'll just do the front part. It's taken quite a bit of force to pull it down there. Well, maybe not. Okay, at least, yeah, I think that's gonna go. Is it still on the sides? Gotta be careful I don't break these things off. Okay. Yeah, I think this, oops, it's come loose from the tape there a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna work away at this, and we'll see how it turned out in the next episode. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.